bakers, it's Health Origins again with you, and today I'm going to show you quite a hot topic amongst the vegan crowds is how to prepare some tasty tofu pieces. So I'm going to press it, I'm going to marinate it, and I'm going to slightly bake it, so you can use that in salads, you can use it with pasta, put it in some stews, wherever you really need some tasty, smoky kind of tofu flavour. So let's begin. So here we have it, mise en place. I've got my tofu, which is organic, clear spring, clear spot. Can you see that? Yeah. So we've got tofu, which is organic original tofu that's now flavored. I love their smoked version of this, so that's really great as well. But this one, I think they were out of smoked one, so I just got this, and we've got some smoked paprika in here anyway to make it smoky. So the tofu. Then we also got tofu tofu press. So if I can show you this as well. So tofu it's a really great invention and contraption, and if you use a lot of tofu, I would recommend getting that for yourself as well, because it's so easy. So it contains like 3 parts. So the bottom container to collect all the juices, the middle one to put the tofu in, and then the top part to just press on top. And there's like some strings and rubber bands to kind of attach, and then you just close it. So I'll show you that in a second. This tofu clear spot, it's great because you pretty much actually don't really even need to press it if you are kind of stuck for time, because it's quite it's quite firm already, and once you cut into the packet and drain all the juices off, it is pretty firm already, so you could easily cut that up and just make it as it is. So I'll just show you. I'll probably do that, but I'll just quickly show you how I would press it if I wasn't making it straight away for you guys. So you just place it in your tofu press. At that, put the rubber. Careful! It's kind of obviously you need to make sure you get it under there. So get the rubber band on one side under. Then you get the other rubber band under the first ring in here, and then all you do is you just close the 2 flaps in, and it starts pressing. And you can place this container in the fridge, so it's great, it doesn't take up too much space. You can put some stuff on top of it as well, and it needs about an hour, or can you leave it longer? But an hour should be more than sufficient. And what happens then, so once it's been pressing for an hour or so, then you take it off, take that inside part, and you've got all the juices collected in that white box. But what I'll do, because I use this then to marinate it after I press it, so I don't need an extra container, don't need to dirty any more dishes. So we've got the tofu, and we're gonna chop this up, then put the marinade on top of it, have a little shake, leave it to marinate for a little bit, and then we're gonna bake it after. Okay, so I'll get a chopping board and we'll get started. Right, so we're gonna cube the tofu block. So first I just slice it into 1 centimeter slices approximately, and then we're gonna slice it in 2 and then cube it. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's just approximate. So in half, then in half again, so that your pieces are a bit more even, and then so cubing it. And the last piece, I mean, you could even slice it into 3, because that's a bit more like 1 centimeter pieces. The others are a little bit larger. So yeah, so just drop them in your container. I mean, obviously if you don't have a tofu press, alternative way to do it is to use just like chopping board. Put your tofu, wrap it in some sort of towel, and then put a heavy like chopping board on top. You know, put some like heavy things on top of it, and that will you know, press the tofu that way if you haven't got the tofu tour press. But like I say, if you use tofu quite often, I really recommend getting it, because you can place this in the fridge, you know, it doesn't take much space. Whereas if you make a, you know, concoction of draining the tofu on like between the chopping boards with like plates and things stacked, then you kind of have to keep it on the counter, because you'll not be able to put that all, you know, stack into the fridge. So I've got my tofu chopped in here, and then we'll make the marinade. So for a marinade, we're going to need soy sauce. We'll use 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, a couple of tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. This is not a very spicy one, because we can't really take too much spice, but it's just nice. And then and some apple cider vinegar. So we'll use a tablespoon of that. Then I've got a teaspoon of onion powder. And we're going to need half a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of smoked paprika powder as well. This is amazing stuff. It makes everything nice and smoky. I prefer using smoked paprika rather than using liquid smoke, because obviously it's natural. It's just paprika, you know, with smoked flavour. So we'll do that. We'll start with the sauce. I need to get a measuring tablespoon though. Right, so I'm back. So we'll just measure 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce here. I mean, these measurements don't have to be exact really. You know, just make your own kind of favorite combination. See like how much saltiness and how much tang you want. So you can put more or less of soy sauce, or more or less of apple cider vinegar. You could probably add another tablespoon of soy sauce, I think, because normally I use double strength. This is like a single strength, like a normal soy sauce. Well, this is actually shoyu sauce, so gluten-free, I think it is. So, but it's like the normal strength, so I'll just put 2 tablespoons. Okay, so then mix that up and add all the other bits. So I add the onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I need to replenish that. That's just about half a teaspoon left in that one. And half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And mix it all well. You could probably use a whisk, because that actually distributes all the marinade bits and all the powders better. So that's what I'll do. I'll get a whisk and incorporate this better. So I'll whisk this up, and it's still nice and thick. And we'll just, once it's all mixed up, I'll just pour it onto tofu. And then I'm gonna put the top on, seal it, and I'm gonna give it a good shake. So you could do that in some food container or somewhere as well. You don't need to have that, you don't need this box per se to give it a shake. Just put it in your food container with a closed, you know, tight closed lid, and then just give it a shake. In fact, it's actually quite tight, this top on, so I don't think it actually mixed that well. So let's have a look. Yeah, it's too much tofu and there's no space for it to move around and mix. So you're probably best off actually doing this step in the food box, because there's more space for the tofu pieces to move. I'm just gonna try and gently mix it with a spoon. I don't want to break them apart, so just gently coat it, and you've got, you know, roughly coated pieces. Give it a little shake like that, just slightly. I'll not press it actually, I'll just do a loose shake. So we'll leave that to marinate now for a little bit, and then get the oven. I think the longer you leave to marinate, the more the sauce gets absorbed obviously in your tofu, and if you squeeze more water out of it, it would absorb even better. So I would recommend you probably, you know, squeeze the water out for an hour and then marinate for at least half an hour as well. So we'll leave that to marinate a bit, and I'll get back to you when we are ready to bake it. So yeah, so I'll just leave that on the counter. I'll not put it in the fridge, no need, because it's just a short space of time. So I'll leave that on the counter and get back to you when we're ready to bake it. I'm back. It's been about 20 minutes, and because I'm, you know, making some soup and I want to kind of add these tofu pieces to have with it, I'm gonna actually go and get them baked now. So basically, once they've marinated for a little bit, then you get them out, and I'm not gonna throw away this sauce as well that's left over. I'm gonna you know, kind of put a bit of water and rinse it and put it in my soup, because that's really good. It's soy sauce, chili sauce, so that'll be tasty. And tofu, you just get distributed you know, evenly, so they don't, you know, really touch each other that much. And then we're gonna bake it in 200 degrees oven about 15 minutes, and we're gonna check. Sometimes, you know, could be 15 minutes could be enough, or if your tofu is a bit wetter, you might need 20 minutes. It depends also how wet or dry you want your tofu as well. So we'll put that in for 15 minutes, and then we'll check it again. So the tofu has been baking for 15 minutes, and I'm gonna try it. I think it needs another 5 minutes since I haven't pressed it. Yeah, it's quite still soft, but it's nearly there. So 5 more minutes, and so yeah, you can see how it looks like. It dried out quite a bit, you know, the sauce kind of concentrated. It's nice. So yeah, so 5 more minutes and that will be ready. Now look at this tofu goodness, baked tofu goodness. Smells divine. So I'm gonna take it now to Mark to give a try. So we've got a taste tester here for our baked smoked tofu. So do you want to have a little try?
It certainly smells flavourful. I can deal with that.
What it means, guys, it's actually really tasty. And we've got our lunch here, so we've got some soup with the homemade sourdough spelled bread, and we're going to sprinkle some of the tofu into the soup and going to enjoy it, except that we don't have any spoons yet.
Yeah, I don't think I can make do with this fork.
So yeah, so we're going to be enjoying lunch, guys. Give the baked tofu a try. Like I said, if you marinate it for longer, and perhaps do a little bit more sauce if you like it a bit more kind of spicy and flavorful, so you can add, you know, you could even double the sauce, so make sure it all coated really well, and give it a try and let me know how you found it, if you enjoyed the taste, and see you in the next episode.